was homeless when I got out of the Army. Didn't have a support system or resources to back me up. I saw the problems that existed within the veteran community. It was astounding to me that the system was as as it was. Just filling out the documentation is not enough. There's a how, and there's a reason, and there's a rhythm as to why. Hello, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Lucas Siminer. I'm the CEO and founder of VetClaims.ai, and this is our weekly live. Why do we do a weekly live? Well, it's an opportunity for me to connect with you all, talk about the company, VetClaims.ai, talk about myself, I guess, to some degree, and answer questions when it comes to VA ratings, veteran entrepreneurship. I think a thing that, interestingly enough, people haven't asked me about is the transition out and going from being a veteran. And by the way, I was very, very poor. I was homeless when I got out of the Army. Didn't have a support system or resources to back me up. Going from that to running, I've built a couple companies. The company I built before this raised about $4 million in venture capital, went to Techstars, which is one of the most selective tech accelerators that exists. And then, in the matter of a year, we sold a tech product into government agencies. So over 37 agencies in a matter of a year across the country, which was wildly impressive, and it worked well. That company was an e-learning platform for blind people, helped blind people get into modern workforce jobs. And then the next thing I built after taking a break is VetClaims.ai, because I saw the problems that existed within the veteran community, the problems that existed within this market. And ultimately, just it was astounding to me that the system was as it was. I was blown away by the fact that nothing had progressed. The same answer, the same solution still existed. Go to this VSO who sits in a courthouse somewhere, and maybe they're great, and maybe they're not. But if they are great, well, then how long are you waiting to talk to them? When you do talk to them, how much time do you get with them? How much of a discovery are they doing with you? The answer is none. They're going to ask you what you want to file a claim for, and then they're going to put that on a piece of paper, and that's that. And Merry Christmas. And it's interesting. With anything you do in life, there's going to be detractors and people who talk negatively, and it's a pain. But at the end of the day, the ultimate truth is people come at us and why go to VetClaims.ai when these free services exist? And the one economic truth that in almost 99.9% of all situations will be true is that you get what you pay for, right? Yeah, they will help you file a claim. They will file whatever you tell them you want to file a claim for. To us is silly, right? But I also get it because people don't inherently know what we do that's different. And they might be asking themselves, how much can go into filing a claim? And the answer is a lot, right? To me, there's these critical components that people are missing. And, no, not every veteran needs a thorough head to toe talking to about, hey, let's literally start at your head and let's go to your toes and let's talk about your systems, right? And figure out every single possible claimable disability that's going on with you, right? That's not always the case, and it's not always needed, but it is. There's a lot of things where veterans don't know that they can and should be claiming something. Right? They don't know that they can claim it. They think, oh, it's got to be attributed to age. Or even if it's not attributed to age, the VA would attribute this to age, right? And that's it. Going through this process of discovery is the biggest thing, right? Because maybe it's not 10 things, but maybe it is one or two things where you're oh, I didn't know. I don't know. Someone here mentioned plantar fasciitis. So I entered the Army with flat feet. I got a waiver from MEPS. Can I claim plantar fasciitis? Well, hell yeah, you can. Right now, you might get denied if you just flat out claim it. But if you say it was aggravated by or exacerbated by your flat feet that was exacerbated or made worse in service, right? Well, then yeah, right. And the flat feet, you can't claim that flat out, but you can say that was exacerbated by service. And there's no way they could say no to that, right? There really isn't. So all this goes to say, right, that the first piece that we offer that's completely different is a thorough diagnostic experience, right? Understanding what is actually going on with you. And if you have questions, if there's things that you're oh, it's going on with me, but I don't know, I could service connect that, right? That's the conversation we have, and that's where we can add a ton of value. The second piece is ensuring that like your documentation isn't just filled out, because that, I'm going to be honest with you, is pretty easy, right? You don't need to pay anybody for that. You can do it for free on the VA website. But the reason people don't do that is because it doesn't work. Just filling out the documentation is not enough. There's a how, and there's a reason, and there's a rhythm as to why, right? And there's strategy, right? Between what things are secondary, what things are primary, what can be linked to exposures, how you can service connect it, and overall how the claim and all the documents that go into it paint a cohesive picture. Now, what I just said is all the documents. You're like, what? All the documents? What do you mean? Isn't it just a 526 and maybe a statement in support of the claim? It could be. It very well could be, but it shouldn't be, right? The truth be told is what it needs to be is much more, right? So let's say that it's a new claim. You should have a 526. You should have the statement in support of the claim. You should have a nexus letter. And no, not a nexus letter from a doctor that you paid to write you a nexus letter. That can be helpful in some extenuating circumstances, but in general, it's not needed and it's not productive, not any more than anything else. And so that's part two, right? So very thorough, talking head to toe, understanding the things and confirming what can and cannot be service connected, what's worth taking a shot on, right? And then it's putting together the paperwork that masterfully architects and points this narrative, right, of how these things occurred, backing them up, linking them to service, and really just like showing that continually at every single point. Then the next piece of the pie here, right, is getting prepared, right? Now you've got your docs, and your docs are thorough, and you've got the things that you should be claiming on them. Now, how do you get prepared? Well, good luck. Call the VSO. Call the VSO. Tell them, hey, I got the CMP exam coming up. What do I do? They say, attend. I like, no. That's the thing. That's what they're going to tell you. Versus us, how do you get prepared? Well, once your CMP exams are scheduled in our app, right? Or if you're not in our app yet, if you're an older customer, anybody new coming in will be in our portal app, which is pretty exciting. But this portal app, all you do is you say, and hey, my CMP exams are scheduled. I need a CMP. End, right? End right there. And then we get a meeting with you, and you have a one-on-one 45-minute to an hour-long meeting where they go through everything, right? Everything you claimed, we're going to talk to you about the DBQ that examiner is going to be going over. What's a DBQ? It's a disability questionnaire. It is the document that medical provider is going to be looking at in your CMP exam with the questions they're going to ask you and how you need to describe your symptoms as they relate to you. It's like there is not a higher level of preparation prior to like me hopping in your truck with you and rolling up the CMP exam. And you know what? If you're here in Texas, or if you want to fly me to where you're at and you want to put me up in a hotel, and you know, I only fly first class, too big, shoulders are too, you can't probably tell from video, but like linebacker ass wide shoulders here. If you want to fly me first class where you're at and put me up in a hotel and feed my big ass for a few nights, you know what? I will hop in your pickup truck and go to your CMP exam with you. I can't go in with you, but I would. I mean, I might try. That'd be funny as hell. But but I will give you the most accurate prep. But that's the only way someone's going to beat us. No other company in this industry does that. No one does that. And I take pride in it. And it costs me money. It costs my company money. I have to hire people and pay them well because it's not an easy job. They have to be very intelligent, very empathetic, very patient, right? We help people this isn't just like GWAT vets or modern vets. Like we help veterans that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they're like, this is the first time I'm going to the VA, and I'm really hoping I don't get right. And those guys, they're not good with technology. They're having a rough time of it. And like, we get it. I get it, you know? And we have to pay these experts what they deserve. And that's why this service costs money. You have an expert that you're engaging with who is there for just you, right? For an hour and an hour minimum almost that every single time that you get to meet with the company. Anyways, so it doesn't stop at the CMP prep, right? And so like to recap where we're at right now, we've talked about the need for really digging into what can and cannot be service connected and going for it, right? And then architecting and drafting all the paperwork in a way that is articulable and cohesive, and painting this picture for the VA to understand exactly what's actually going on and the mechanisms of service connection, right? Or relation within disabilities. And then we talk about preparation. Then we have the CMP prep. Now, what more could Luke possibly add to this amazing deal, right? Well, I can tell you that we have a support team, a very dedicated support team who is there for you all hours of the day, right? And you only call them if you need them, but truth be told, they are there for you. If you have questions along the way, if there's something going on, whatever it may be, we're here for you. And then continue more, right? So you have ongoing support and ongoing access to the team of people who are expertly trained. And then you continue going. Let's say that, out of the claims we helped you with, you get, let's say you filed 10 and 7 of them get approved. Now, if there's 3 that got denied, what we're going to do is we're going to look at why those get denied. All right, there's no proof of service connection, there's no diagnosis. Like, depending why the reason for denial is, we're going to figure out an action plan for each and every single one of those. And then we're going to give you that action plan and you're going to execute on it. And once you've executed on that action plan, and it might take you 3 to 5 months, whatever, depending on how quick you move, then my appeals team is going to run this whole process with you again. And guess what? The appeals team is selected and comprised of some of the best and the brightest. We have the most badass individuals there, like flat out, I'll say it, right? So if go right, which, most of the time was pretty right, but say that, there's one thing that got denied and that's keeping you from hitting the rating you need, we got you. And here's the crazy thing. We're not going to ask for a single penny more. And $1,250. You can use Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, anything under the sun, and you get all of that, right? There are people who use Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay, use one of those payment providers, and you can read our reviews on the Better Business Bureau site. All right. People talk about, we got them to 165 days. We got them from 0 to 70 in 45 days. We got them from whatever to whatever, right? There are people who have not finished paying the $1,250 for this product through Klarna or Affirm or whatever, and they have already got the rating back and this product already paid itself off. Now, also to put in perspective, say you're at 0% right now with no dependents, no spouse. If you pay us to help you get the rating you deserve, and you only got to 20%, hear me out. If you only got to 20%, now mind you, that's never happened in company history. There's just no way. Do you know what happens? Your investment pays itself off within 3 months. And every month after that your silly ass manages to stay alive, which I hope is many, it's all you. It's all you. All I ask is that you like our content, share our and help us help more veterans, because we want to fix the system. Mr. Wizards Whimsy says, I can attest to the quality of the prep. Amen to it, brother. I appreciate that. Jack Sunbro, Luke kind of looks like Thor, in your opinion. Oh, that's a very sweet opinion. I mean, that's an opinion I'm favorable to. My hair was like much more put together today. But throughout the day, it just starts to like poof and get all easy. See, now I did that and I got this Teletubby ass on. I fucking swear. And I had a crew cut for like the first 30 years of my life, and I'm tempted every day to go back to it. But Scooter, how long is it called when they call into your company to see if you can help us? So like the complete care call, that's an hour. We've played with different timing to see how much time is actually needed on average. Some calls only last 45 minutes, but I think we window out about 90 minutes right now for them. But it's all really kind of dependent on needs of the veteran. Obviously, not every case, right? Some people, they got in, they went to Iraq, and then they got the hell out. Or Afghanistan or wherever, right? Like they had like one deployment, they were in for like 2 or 3 years, that's that. And they're trying to figure it out, right? That's not going to take an hour. It's probably not going to take 30 minutes. Because there's just not that much to go through, and it's pretty easy to connect and back all the things that'll take an hour, right? You're on your 3rd or 4th version of fighting the VA. You've been dealing with VSOs half your damn life, and you were an early GWAT vet or a Gulf War vet, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, that might take us an hour and a half, because we want to make sure that like we get you done or close to done on this shot. I built this because I want you all, potential customers, veterans, to be able to be done with this VA process. It shouldn't take 6 years. It should take 1 or less, right? It should take 1 or less. And it should get you in a place where you are moving and grooving. You want to go to school? Cool. You got that disability to back you up, right? You want to go pursue a job that like requires you to be a journeyman, right? You want to be an electrician, a plumber, a pilot, anything that has those like, hey, you got to work for wages for the first 5 years. Well, sick. Now you got that disability rating to help you find a job that works with your brain, with your trauma, with your disabilities, whatever it may be, so that you can live the life that you deserve to live, that you're willing to endeavor and sacrifice and build for, because that's what you want.